something a little bit dangerous. So just in the comments, could you please write yes or no? That's all. So, and while you're typing, if you said yes, could you kind of give me a quick example or a quick reason why you think that is true? And what I'm going to try and do as your examples come in is just to type them in here. So I'm going to put yes, they should be told this, and I'm going to look for a few reasons why. No, children shouldn't be told that they can do anything if they try. So Nilufer saying no. Smaranamatra, yes. Okay, keep your answers coming. And if you can give me some evidence or explanation or reason why you think this, then that would be great, because we're going to look today at expanding your points. We're going to look, Nilufer, at the full essay, and then for homework you're going to write the conclusion. That is my plan. Amira, I want your gut feeling, not it depends. Depends could come on in the conclusion, but just your first reaction without thinking too much. Because remember, the danger with depends is that you will sit on the fence and the examiner wants to see your opinion. Of course, it depends. Everything depends on the situation, and you can put that in your ideas. But let's see. Marina saying there is conflicting evidence. Ah, yes, absolutely. It was in my podcast. Isn't it a great collocation? Thank you, Marina. Yeah, I just believe strongly you can learn so much from reading and listening that you can use. Yeah, Marina, I would just say there is, because evidence is a noun, but it's a lovely expression. So there is conflicting evidence. You're absolutely right. Allows children to expand their capability and boost opportunities. Okay, that's good, but why? Could you give me a bit more specific? Amira's still on no. Saurabh saying yes, by which they can be motivated, inspired. Okay, so the thing about motivation, inspiration, that's going to be one of our main points. Hi, Priya. Hard work is the key to success, therefore they will work hard. Okay, so you're saying that the emphasis then is on work rather than these people, you know, teenagers these days think they can become famous without doing any hard work. On hard work, kind of develops a strong work ethic. Could be an example of a so what. Novice saying, because we can't have everything we want in life instantly, we need effort to reach our goal, even though the effort depends on the case. Okay. Yes, so hard work and effort can get you anywhere where you want to be. Amira thinks it might kill motivation and analytical thinking. Okay. Okay. Might kill motivation by being told that they have to try hard. Okay. Could kill motivation. I'd need a more example of how it could kill their analytical thinking, Amira. Give me another example. Mandeep saying it develops a positive attitude towards life. Okay. Okay. Put that there. So I think everybody's kind of arguing in favour at the moment. Hi, Hassan. We haven't got much against it at the moment. So Nilofer saying it could lead to disappointment. I think that's a key issue. Lead to disappointment. What did you say, Nilofer? That they might feel miserable about themselves, that if you tell them they can do anything and then they don't achieve what they wanted, then they could be very disappointed. Yes, definitely. Priya saying positive thought always leads to success. Does it? Does it, Priya? Are you sure? Okay, I'm going to change always to often. Yeah. And Hafsa, I think you're agreeing there with, I think, Marina, that they can, or Nilofer, that they, it's setting people up for disappointment, isn't it? If you tell them they can do anything and then they don't, then yes. Sulcum was saying there may be some intrinsic abilities. Some children are artistic, they want to be creative, not trying hard. There should be love of what they're doing. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So should strive to do something for the enjoyment, not the work involved. Yes. Yes. Okay. And maybe not for the rewards, possibly. Not for rewards. So we could say, oh, here's a collocation. It stifles creativity. If you're told you just have to work hard, then you might lose your creativity. I think that's the point you're making. Children generally don't have an idea about how to go about in their life. Parents can put them, yes, the best way, encouraging, guiding them. Yes. So people need parental guidance and inspiration. Well, he said, yeah, okay, to find their way. Yeah. Because sometimes when your parents say you can do anything you want, it's up to you. You kind of think, well, I don't know what I want to do. So, yeah. Children generally don't, right. Children can become frustrated, I think, Diane. Can cope with future failure. I see what you mean, Hassan, but you might need to explain how that will help them cope. Because it might have the opposite effect. Maybe they would be like, but you told me I could do anything and now I can't. So it could be quite hard. Noelia's against generates low tolerance to failure. That there. Is that better? Hang on, let me make that smaller. Right. Okay, so generates low tolerance to failure, tended to make them feel guilty for the bad decisions. Many end with mental health problems. Okay. All right. So let's say leading to mental health issues, feeling of failure. Yeah. It puts too much pressure on them, Mandeep. Yeah. Yes. Too much pressure to succeed. Yes. Lovely. Good. Sarah might help to develop aptitude and ethics towards their viewpoint. Okay, might need explanation, a bit more explanation. Marina says it also depends on culture where children are born and raised. Chinese children studying to achieve a great future. Okay. Interesting example. Because the question says, in some cultures, which I think is a bit odd. Isn't it in every culture children are told they should work hard? I think that the question is a bit odd, but yeah. Mandeep gives them false hope. Yes. Gives false hope. Nice collocation. And Niloufar, hard for them to accept defeat. Yes. Compare themselves to others. Yes. Gosh, I'm depressed now. Comparing themselves to others. Yeah. For example, if the child is talented, Amira's saying, if the child is talented in drawing, their parents force them only to focus on their homework, seek better jobs in future from their perspective. Okay. Yes. So if it's misguided advice, so it's not directed at what the child loves. Yes. Okay. Children have a lot of dreams beginning of their lives. They think everything is possible. Yes. Yes. So is that good or bad? Now we encourage children to fight and become stronger so they can be ready for the future. Children would not have pragmatic to take vital decisions. Pragmatic exposure, I don't know. You mean real exposure? They won't have the life experiences. Is it Saurabh? Mohammed's saying leads to a sense of disillusionment, disappointment, disillusionment. Yeah. In this competitive world, needs to work smart as well as hard. Yes, so that would be a good conclusion. Children should work smarter, not harder, and this is what they should be encouraged to do. Yes. Flowers should blossom naturally, needs water for growth, same way parents boost them. Positive thoughts. Okay. Failure is the best way to find success. Okay, lovely. Right, so thank you so much for those answers. That is a lot more than I thought of. So let's have a look at let's sum it up. We've got the idea, practical experience. Yeah, that's better, Saurabh. Yes, better collocation. So we've got the idea that on the one hand, it can be very inspirational to think that you can do anything you want as long as you work hard. And this therefore develops this strong work ethic, which will bring success. And it's good to have some guidance. However, it could lead to disappointment, isn't it? This is the main thing, leading to disappointment, negative feelings, and comparing themselves to others. So that's the kind of negative feelings and pressure. But also the second point may be that you should do something because you're enjoying it or you're good at it, not for the reward. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've got two very clear set of arguments. And of course, the question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages? So it's perfect. You've got one paragraph full of the positives. And I would start with the positives, definitely, and then say, on the other hand, with the negatives. Okay, so great. Now, I'd like you to have a look, first of all, at this introduction. So I got this, and it's a nice essay. I think it's a nice one. I don't want to show you the whole thing yet. And I'll share the link in the description. So here's the message. Here's the introduction. Can you read it for a minute, please, and tell me what you think? Okay, So you know my system for introductions. Is there something missing here? Is there anything you feel you could add? Has it got a general statement? Yes. Although I disagree with this nations, it's copying the, let's just look at the question again, sorry, let's copy that. And so we don't copy too much. You know, I don't like to copy from the question. So it says in some cultures, so they've copied it really, they've changed it to some nations. Just paraphrasing the question. Children are often told, that's passive. I like this. Convincing children, hard work makes, yeah, that's okay. But Noelia's pointed it out. There's no opinion there. And yeah, the opinion is missing. So I would definitely say, you know how strongly I feel about this. And so I would need to see something, even if you put, however, I believe that it can cause, you know, if that's the point you're going to take, then just say that. Simply say that. Okay, now, this is a much better introduction by this simple change. So, yes, you're saying, yes, it can be good. However, I believe, that's it. I believe it can have negative consequences. I'll tell you more below. That's fine. Let me just look at your comments. Yes, Mohammed, so you could, as long as you don't go into too much detail, definitely. Yes. Okay, so when I say put your opinion at the start, that is sufficient. As long as you're saying, I think there are negative consequences, is better than saying, oh yeah, well, it's a bit of both. That's all. Okay, any other comments about that? Any thoughts? Are you happy with that? Mohammed, the only problem sometimes when you outline what they are here is that it becomes too long. I think if you've said you're going to talk about them below, that's fine. And your opinion there is clear. I know, Noelia, everybody tells you to be neutral, but the exam criteria does not tell you that. If you're aiming high, if you're aiming for band 7, the opinion has to be clear throughout, which means you can't wait until the end. You have to say something that is going to give you the idea that you're not just in the middle all the time. Okay. Every child as if one should find their interest in child. Yeah, that okay, maybe in the conclusion. Hafsa, introduction in the general statement, paraphrasing, and personal opinion. Yes, Hafsa, I don't believe in paraphrasing personally. I don't like that system. It's okay. It's band 6, but it's not going to give you a band 7. So even if you said, if you changed it slightly, children have often been told, or children are often told, yeah, anyway, I won't do it now. Yes, Hassan, but they're going to. They said they will in the essay, so that's okay. You don't have to in the introduction, but you have to in the main body, because they've asked for advantages and disadvantages. So yes, in the main body you have to. In the introduction you can if you want to. Oh, Noelia, 7 is tough. It's hard. Amelia, 2 paragraphs should be equal in length, even I'm convinced only by one opinion. Yes, in this type of question, yes, definitely. Okay, so let's look at those 2 paragraphs. Yeah, it is Nilafan. That's why I don't like it. But it's okay. the first paragraph, it's okay. It's not bad. Remember, we said that bad paraphrasing is worse than not paraphrasing. So either you don't paraphrase or you do it well. And it's difficult to do well, as we can see here. Some nations, I don't think is a good example, but it's fine. It's not terrible. Marina, should I put my strong side in the intro? Yes. Yes. So there are different words for your strong side, Marina. I know exactly what you mean. It's your stance, your position, your argument. Yes. So this is really important for academic essays. When you go to university, you can't just write an essay showing both sides. You have to have a stance to show that you are an independent thinker, that you've developed, you've read the evidence and you've developed your own opinion. And that's why it's important that you put it in the introduction. I know other people say it's not important, but I disagree. This is my stance or my position, my argument. Okay, so that's what I would say was the weak point of this introduction, is that it didn't have a clear stance. Now, that might come in the main body, but it's safer and better to put at least something in the introduction. Okay, so I'd like to show you, first of all, I would like to show you the first paragraph. Okay, from this model essay, which I found on the internet and which I like. So I'm going to give you a minute to read it, please. Okay, first of all, an easy question. What is that sentence in blue? What do we call that sentence at the top? What is it, and why is it good to put this blue sentence? Okay, I know it's difficult typing question. Okay, so as you type, all right. So the blue is the topic sentence Sarab has got there. Right. Okay. Does it make any points, or does it tell you what the paragraph is about? Great. Lovely. Noelia's saying it's an introduction. It's an introduction to the paragraph, I guess. Yes. Yes. So topic sentence is maybe less confusing word. Exactly. Shows what that paragraph is about. Tells the examiner, look, now I'm going to tell you about the advantages. The advantages is in the question, and here is how I answer that question. So you're saying very clearly that the message is beneficial in many ways. That's all you have to say. It's telling the reader what's coming next. About the advantages, Elias, yes. Novi or general sentence, yes, general sentence statement if it's in the introduction, yes. Okay, Novi, even though we have to write our opinion in the introduction, we have to write both sides on main body paragraph 1 and 2. Yes, 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 because that's the question. Yes. Okay. And you're telling the reader it's the advantages. Okay. Now, what I really like about this is the most difficult thing about writing a paragraph, I think, is what is a point, what is an explanation, and what is the so what? And do you need all three of them, or is one of them okay? And how many points do you need? All of this kind of thing is difficult. But in this lovely example, I think it's nice. It says, okay, the first point is children have lots of dreams. Why? Because they're young and they think everything is possible. But this to me is the most important thing. So what? So when adults encourage them, then it pushes them to be the best version of themselves. That's the result, the consequence of this, doing this thing. And so it pushes that point. Children have dreams. They're at the beginning of their lives. So yes, it's great that parents should push them to do as best as they can. Okay. Second point, and look how they kind of tell the reader really clearly. Another benefit, it keeps children encouraged even when they fail. So nice linking word, complex language. What do you mean even when they fail? Well, explanation. When they grow into adults, they'll find problems. So, well, if they were taught that hard work will help them through, they will stay motivated. Marina says 3 of them is extremely needful. You mean 3 points, Marina? How many points? Okay. Again, this depends on how much you can say about each one. If you've got 3 points, it's fine to say firstly, secondly, and finally. Fine, if you've got 3 main points. But here, I think we're struggling to find 3 good points. The main point is it'll help children feel motivated and fulfill their ambitions. And what's the second one? It'll help them survive difficult times. So 2 points is fine, as you can see here, as long as you develop them. Development is the key to getting a 7 in task achievement. The danger is always that you make the point, but you don't say so what. So the point is children are at the beginning of their life. Everything's possible. So what? How does that help them? Well, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? Marina saying should be 3 points as well. I disagree. 3 points is fine, but if you develop each one of those 3 points, you're going to have too many words. And you might start running out of time, making more mistakes. I think 2 is absolutely fine in this type of question. Okay, and I'm going to show you what this writer does again in the second part, main body. I mean, point, explanation, so what? 1 point with clear example is good enough. Yes, Priya. Yeah, if you've got 1 main point, which is motivation, then you could develop that. You could start by saying the main reason why it's good to do this is for motivation. And then give 3 so what. Motivation helps them stay positive. Motivation helps them keep going when it's hard. Motivation helps them always aim to be better. So you could get those 3 explanations out of 1 main point. And the opposite paragraph could be just 1 point, which is the feeling of disappointment, and then explain that. Yes. But I think 2 is probably the ideal. 2 or 3. Depends how good a writer you are. I'm not a great writer, so I find it easier to find 2 good examples and develop them. You know, if I'm really stuck, I'll find 3 examples using the method, you know, the 3 E's, the economic reason, the educational, the ethical. That helps me when I'm stuck on a question. Here, it doesn't help me very much. So I'm happy with my 2 points. Okay, so let's have a look at the second. I was going to ask you to write this. Shall I ask you to write it, or shall I show it to you? Okay. I don't know. Shall we write this? Right. So this is the topic sentence again. On the other hand, children who believe this message may encounter some problems. What is the first problem? Yeah, let's just do one at least. Let's do one. So what is the first problem that they will encounter? Yes, Hafsa, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to try and hide the real example by putting more gaps there. And then, okay, so we said may encounter some problems. So first of all, what? So I'll give you time to type. Don't feel pressure. Just go ahead. We'll try to put the ideas together. Feel both benefits is encouragement. Okay, Rika. Oh, both examples you mean. Okay, while everybody's typing, let me have another look. Encourage them, pursue their passions, believe it pushes them to be the best. I don't know. I think the point about dealing with problems is the second point. The first one is about trying to get what you want in life. Second one is teaching you how to deal with hard times. Yeah, okay. Right, so Arif, hello Arif. It makes children result-oriented rather than process-oriented. Okay. So I'm going to need, what are we going to need there? I'm taking that first. It makes children result-oriented rather than process-oriented. Okay, so that's your point, Arif. That's great. One thing I would suggest is that avoid this 100% it always makes. I mean, if you're sure it's 100%, you could say evidence shows that it makes, you might want to put something like that in. Again, makes you sound very academic. Evidence shows that it makes children result. So that's one option, Arif. Or you could say it may make children. May or might. So that's hedging language. It's not always true, but it could make children result-oriented. Okay, so I'm going to need you to extend that. If we stick with this example, and Nilofer, I'll just go through these. Again, Nilofer, it may lead to disappointment. So be careful with the hedging language. Marina's saying one obvious problem is competition. Is competition a problem though, Marina? Again, you'd have to explain it. Saurabh saying the main drawback, they might feel overpressurized. Against their moral ethics might be for children. I think that would be difficult, Saurabh. So stick with your main point. Okay, I'm going to put all of these main points. They might feel overpressurized. So I'm going to ask you to say why. Hassan, hard for children to cope with failure when they're told that the world is their oyster. Yeah, that's lovely. Yes. Nice expression. because it's an idiom, but people say, oh, don't use idioms. But I think here it's a perfect idiom, Hassan. Okay, I'm just going to quickly write that so we've got it. When children are told that the world is their oyster, it may be hard for them to cope with failure. Okay. Noelia, children are encouraged to believe failure is an option when they do not accomplish their goals, because they did. Yes. Oh, yes. Not only they failed, the pressure to try. Good point, Noelia. Good. I can't type it all, but it's very good. Amira, forcing children to determine their path may create codependent personalities. They cannot make proper decisions on their own. Very nice point, Amira. I think you've explained it. Hafsa, they won't be able to cope with their future life. They may not be able to cope with their future life. In other words, when they become adults, they won't understand life is not only made of success, so they'll be disoriented. Good. Okay, so Hafsa, you've got the point, explanation, and the so what is there. That's fine. Okay. They may lose 1-0, Nilofer, their sense of satisfaction with themselves. That's your point. Again, you'd have to explain it. Elango, it might mislead young people to pursue something which cannot be possible, causing unwanted depression to handling failures. Yes. So Elango, you've got your so what there. With a nice ing linking word, causing unwanted depression or difficulty in handling failures. Yes. So Arif's come with the example for that one. When children fail to achieve what they strive for and feel their hard work was for nothing. So you're explaining that one. Okay. When they fail to achieve what they strive for, they feel like their hard work was for nothing. So you've kind of explained that. I would need to check the grammar. It's not your fault, it's mine, because I'm typing quickly. Evidence shows so that, okay, so that's the result. So that when they fail to achieve what they strive for, they feel like their hard work was for nothing. I think that's fine. Okay, I think that's fine. Good, Arif. You've got your so what. Marina, studying under the pressure of school curricula, some children lose. Yes, everybody, how do you spell lose? How many O's in lose as a verb? I see it. Native speakers don't know how to use it either. It's not you. Oh, loose is the adjective. Don't worry, really common. Okay, just in terms of meaning, let's have a quick look at this. What's the opposite of lose? The opposite of lose. To lose. Yeah, sorry. So what's the opposite of to lose? Begins with W. Lose is 1-0, that's right. That's okay, Marina. I've seen it a few times, so I think it's worth checking. Okay, so the opposite of lose is win. Oh, find. Yes. Yes. Okay, and what's the opposite of loose? Tight. Thank you, Sarab. There. Okay, so they're adjectives. Yeah. Okay, great. So pronunciation-wise, the pronunciation of that one is Z, lose, and the pronunciation of that one is loose. Can you hear the difference? Is it okay if we use on the one hand, then continue first of all? Novi's asking. Okay, Novi. Probably no. Novi, it's not. We'll look at the model now, and I would say no. Deepika is saying children may push themselves to their limits and work too hard, which affects them negatively. Which will affect them negatively. Yes. So remember, you're making predictions which will or which might. Good. Noelia, not only does society, its inversion after not only, encourage them to be work, I also penalize other attitudes. Okay, fine, good, good. Loose, secure. Yes, lovely. Okay, great. So we've kind of done what we planned with this sentence. Sorry I didn't have time for everybody's. You're just coming so fast, which is great. Are we happy with this one? Right. Zulkumar has got another one. Hard work. Uncountable nouns, Zulkumar, sorry. Hard work. That's my thing. Right. Might be a contributory factor in having a stressful life. Since children cannot be involved in everything at once. Okay, yeah, so it's stressful, definitely. Hafsa, I prefer on the one hand. It sounds better to me. On the one hand, yeah. Okay, I think let's look at what this writer suggested. Let's just look at one point first. Okay, so I'll just let you read it, just that one. Sorry, and the example should be read as well. Okay. Okay, so what I really like about this, again, is that the point is that it's unrealistic, or it's your point that they'll get disappointed. So you've got to start with the point. The starting point is they set unrealistic goals. This time it's not an explanation, it's an example. So you don't have to use an explanation. An example can explain it sometimes in a better way. So this explains what they mean by this unrealistic goals. They can become millionaires at the age of 15. Yes. Why is this a problem? Remember the so what. So when they reach that age, they become, again, I think it should be they may become frustrated that they did not get what they wanted. So really nice in one point. The second point is this. Let's just read it together. I'll give you time to read it. I don't like which affects. I have to change that. Okay, now I can see there's too many mays. So I'm just going to change it. There's could, there's might. Don't have to say may. Okay, so again, we've got this lovely, the point is that it will encourage them to push themselves too hard. For example, basically, this is an example, children who study all the time. So what? Well, they results in mental health issues and those nice vocabulary items there. So there is the paragraph 2, of course, they would be joined, not like that. But I like it. I think it's nice. I think it's a really good example. And of course, I will share this with you. Actually, I changed it just as I didn't want you to see the model before we started. Okay, so you can find that now yourself and have a quick look at it. But actually don't, because the conclusion is there. And what I'd like you to do, please, yes. So what I'd like you to do for homework is now write the conclusion. Nilofer specifically asked us to look at conclusions, but I always feel that you need to look at the essay as a whole first before you are able to analyze the conclusion. So Nilofer, if you're still there, Hafsa, yeah. So Hafsa saying, should we always use may? No, may, might, could. Those are all okay. Hedging, Saurabh. I found the most marvelous thing about hedging. It is in the Members Academy though. There's a whole unit on hedging, but I will add this new document that I found and I'll share it with everybody. Okay, Nilofer had to go. Okay. All right, great. So let me, as always, make you a Google form and share it with you. I'll show you so I can see. Okay, so last week we did the main body paragraph. So we're getting lots of practice. We're doing introductions, main body paragraphs, and now conclusions. Oh, 42. Was that from last week? Oh my goodness. Right. Make a copy. So this is conclusion. Conclusions. Is that the right one? No, I'm really sorry. I don't think this is the right one, is it? Hang on. Write a conclusion. Right, guys, you can go. Sorry, I'm keeping you. I'm wasting your time. Let me just, I will share this on Facebook for you, and I'll put the Google Doc there. Oh. Right, that's the Google Doc, right? And no, it's not. I'm really sorry. I need to go and find the right one. Okay, so guys, I'll see you. Let's do this one. Right. This one is about self-employment. Okay. Yeah, I'll see you later. You carry on. Conclusions about world is your oyster. Share it with the same people. Ah, okay, maybe that's easier. Right, thanks Priya. Goodbye everybody. I will see you really, really soon. And thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll post this now. Sorry, it's taking longer. I should have done it before, but I will see you on Thursday and we'll look at conclusions. So thanks guys. Thank you for joining and see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.